YouTube, welcome to Viking Preparedness. I am Pastor Joe Fox. You know, I've been doing some thinking this morning about basic human rights, right? What are basic human rights? Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Yeah, what's that even mean, right? And I was thinking, you know, a basic human right should apply across cultures, across time. So I started thinking about that. Picture some African of, you know, the 1600s living in a grass hut on the edge of the plains of Africa. What are his basic human rights? Compare and contrast those with a peasant living in medieval England, and he's got some little hut somewhere, right, out in the forest, and you know, he's got a wife and a couple kids. Or an American Indian, right, a native, wigwam or teepee, same kind of thing. What are his basic human rights? And yeah, I'm making it male-centric because I'm a male and I was thinking about it. And one of the things I came to was that a man has a basic human right to his woman, his kids, his house, right? Whether that be a hut or a cave or whatever. And if anyone else tries to molest him, take his stuff, he also has a basic human right to his own person, right? You know, you can't, a man has a right not to have holes put in his body and blood leaking out, right? And so that right is so strong that if someone tries to take what belongs to this man, his blood, his woman, his kids, his little hut or house, he has the right, nay, dare I say the duty, to protect it at the risk of his life, to fight to the death to protect those things. And then I started putting that in modern context, and you know, I praise the Father that I don't have children anymore, you know, minor children. And you look at these, what are they called? I don't even know, Child Protective Services. And I understand that in this country there are children who are horribly abused and dun-dun-dun-dun-dun. You know what the problem is? Some of those kids that are horribly abused are in the Child Protective Services network, right? And this is a bureaucracy that exists to feed itself. And then you think about this story, and I've only read aspects of it, and I'm sure there's more than one side to the story. There always is, but you know, there's some family in Kentucky or Tennessee or something had 10 kids, and people swooped in and took them. Well, you know, just put that back in time. You know, go back to the medieval days, and let's say you're a guy and you're a peasant, you know, and you grub potatoes out of the mud, and you got a wife and a passel of kids. And the king decides he wants your daughters for his harem, right? He decides he's the king. It's good to be king. And so he sends his knights to grab your daughters and take them to his harem. What's the difference between the powers that be sending their SWAT team, who kind of look like knights, you know, they got armor on and helmets and shields and stuff, send their knights to come get your kids and take them for whatever purpose they want them. It really doesn't matter what purpose they want them for. They're your kids. At that point, what do? I go back to my martial law video. You got 3 options. You only have 3 options. I like to simplify things. It makes clarity of thought easier. You can give your kids up. Oh, you got a court order. Here you go. Which means, you know, deal with it, right? You can fight. Certainly can. You're not taking my kids. Bang, bang. Or you can flee. You can run away with your kids. Those are really your only 3 options. To say give your kids up and fight them in a court of law, you're dealing with it, right? You gave up your kids. You don't know what's happening to your kids. You don't know who's got your kids. You don't know what they're doing with your kids. What's your duty at that point as a man? If somebody tries to come get your kids, or your wife, or your house. It starts getting complicated with houses in the fact that most Americans don't own their own home. So it's really not your house. It's the bank's house. But if it's not the bank coming to get it, if If it's somebody else coming to get the house that you and the bank have an arrangement for, and the bank's cool with it and you're cool with it, so really it is your house at that point, what are you going to do about it? What would men throughout history have done about it? Deal with it, fight, or flee? Right now it's not you. Right now it's not your problem. But I'm telling you, this world is fixing to go topsy-turvy. And you might want to start thinking now, while you're calm, what are your basic human rights? What are that guy's basic human rights? Because unless you're a jerk, you don't want to infringe on anybody else's basic human rights. I hope. All right. I'll see you out there.